Hello chaps, I jolly well love a game of association football when I'm not watching the rugger, eh? Ha ha! My favourite team are of course West Tottenham City. Oh, I fancy them for the cup this year, something rotten. Come on you Gunners! Dudes, it's Monday, it's my time. Welcome to Mike on Monday. Let's see what happened this week at West Ham. That way, go. So it's been an action-packed week at West Ham this week, hasn't it? All sorts going on. It started on Monday, because weeks tend to start with Monday, when there was a meeting between the Real West Ham Fan Group, Real West Ham Fan Action Group, or for short, and they had a meeting with the board, an official meeting with the board, except only Karen Brady turned up, which I think makes it kind of pointless, but hey, what the hell, what do I know? Lots of things were discussed, but none of them particularly important, and it lasted 4 hours. Now, there's been bits and pieces online about what happened in that meeting, but what really happened in that meeting is not much, and it kind of shows the weakness of the Real West Ham Fan Group, who I generally support, but they have very little focal point on what they're trying to say. There's very little kind of clear ideas or identity. There's a sort of lack of real ambition and real sort of clarity of values behind the group, in my opinion. I don't really know why they were meeting with the board, because they didn't really seem to say, okay, we want this thing or this thing's happening. They wanted Brady to stop her son column. She ain't going to do that. I didn't think she would. She said there's no way she's going to stop doing that. And she's, where else are we on? You can't go back to Upton Park. We're stuck at the stadium. We're stuck with the board because they own the club. I can't see them selling due to support or pressure anytime in the near future. I think we really need, if we want things to change, to identify exactly what we want to change. There you go. Incidentally, there are other fan support groups. In fact, we've got loads of them, all of them with really awkward names. There's the, I'm going to get this right, the West Ham Support, Independent West Ham Support Association, or WUSA for short. They have brought their spare membership fee down to £1 for the season. Now, Worcester actually do some quite focal stuff. They're just really rubbish at updating their website, but other than that, they're great. So Worcester really worth joining. I'll put a link below, and I'm going to join because I love a bargain. £1 for the rest of the season. I think it's annual membership there, and of course there is the West Ham Against Twat sports group, or what as they're called. I did join them, and they kicked me out because they're against twats, and I am one. Thanks. Anyway, so it's Monday. What else happened this week? On Saturday, of course, West Ham played Liverpool away, a fixture we've traditionally done appallingly badly at, and we continue to do that. Play and slag Slam Village if we want, but let's face it, at least he got a result at Anfield for 2 seasons running, a win and a draw there, and we got slaughtered this week. I'm not that surprised. Let's find out what happened by going to Mike at the Tactics Centre. Mike, we lost heavily. What happened? Thanks, Mike. This week, West Ham lost 4-1 away at Liverpool. How did Liverpool manage such a convincing win? Well, let's have a look at the way that Liverpool lined up. And as we can see here, from this lineup, Liverpool played their favourite attacking three of Mane, Firmino, and of course the wonderful Salah is having such an effective season. All three of these managed to get onto the score sheet. They're ably backed up by 2 wing backs who pushed right up the pitch. I thought Robertson had a particularly good game at left back, and a strong central midfield which made even Mr. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain look quite good. Emre Can also managed to chip in with a goal from midfield and still managed to look relatively solid at the back. So you're wondering, where are West Ham with all this going on? Well, West Ham, as you can see, are lined up down here in their favoured 5-2-2-1 formation. A formation which, apart from a few bits of brilliance from Arnautovic up front, never really got going. So there you go. There's West Ham here Liverpool. The game finished Liverpool 4, West Ham United 1. Liverpool really demonstrating they are in every way on a completely different level to the Hammers. Back to you in the studio, Mike. Thanks, Mike, as ever. Cutting an insightful tactical analysis from the West Ham Tactics Centre. Brilliant stuff there indeed. On Sunday, it appeared or came out that Jose Fonte has left West Ham because even though our transfer window is closed, the Chinese one is still open and we can sell to China, and we know West Ham, we want to sell, and we sold Jose Fonte to the wonderfully named, I'll just get this right, Dalian Yifang, and unless you're the Sun. The Sun reported that Dalian Yifang, the central defender from West Ham, had left to join Chinese Super League club Jose Fonte. Loving your work, son. But yeah, he's left for, and it's on the classic undisclosed fee, so reportedly somewhere between 3 to 4 million, saving West Ham a whole whack of wages as well, while depleting a paper-thin squad even further. Yes, we've got even less players to pick from now. Brilliantly done, West Ham. Well done. And whose money are we saving, by the way? Because it was great, this whole, we're going to save loads of money off the wage bill. For what? To pay for what exactly? Because we're not spending it on players, are we? We're not spending it on bringing other players in, and when we do, it's badly spent. For example, we got rid of loads of players at the end of last season and brought in Joe Hart on 120 grand to sit on the bench. Really worth doing. Well done, West Ham. Player we really need and clearly now don't want. And hey, he sat there earning a lot of money for doing bugger all. So, and ruining his England career. Anyway, never mind. Jose Font then, after the Chinese Super League, he's 34. It's his last big payday. Well done, Jose Font. Will he be a success? Who knows? Only time will tell, and these things inevitably does, because it is time-based and it moves forward continually. And but it's worth noting we have had a whole load of players come and go in the last couple of seasons, and I thought it would be really interesting to see what's happened to them, what happened to all those sort of players that we've got rid of and recently departed, if you would, from West Ham. And here's a special feature on it. So what's happened to those people, dear, long but never forgotten lost players from West Ham? That way, let's go. Yeah, so what has happened to those great players that we let go? Have they gone on to success or miserable failure, and we'll be right to get rid of them? For this, the data for this, just to be clear, I've received it all from whoscored.com, just to make it one source was evenly spread. You might argue with it if you want, but I mean the key thing is it's come from one source, not from different ones, which could mean different things. And also I valued these from successes and failures and top scoring kind of way. And who's been the best player that we've let go? Well, let's face it, as a joint first place, I think, for this one. Joint first, so let's look at the first of those. It would of course be Robert Snodgrass. I'm only using this season's stats for this as well, because there's only so much time I've got to research this. I do have to work as well, you know. And Robert Snodgrass, we let him go after he turned up and didn't look very good playing for us on loan to Aston Villa. Since then, he has set the world alight there, hasn't he? He's played this season 30 goals, scoring 7 and creating 10. He's got 10 assists. Played 30 games, scored 7 goals, 10 assists, average rating at 7.44. Hardly surprising, really, if you look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, he is exactly the sort of player we should be looking to sign from the Championship. It weren't the fact we already own him and couldn't get him back in the winter break, because there's no release clause built into it, because we were so sure he was rubbish, and he's turned out to be great. Now, admittedly, Championship's a lesser league, which is why he's joint first, and in this, but that is still some comeback. 30 games, 7 goals, 10 assists. What that really means is he has affected the game in every other game. He's either created an assist or created or scored a goal. He also has 7 man of the match points to his name. Villa, I think, 3rd in the Championship. Started badly, but really getting their act together now, and I've got a feeling we'll be really in the shake-up for promotion come the end of the season. Well done to Robert Snodgrass. Moyes already said he wants to have a good look at him, and I'm not surprised. Equal first, and you won't again be that surprised to hear this, is of course Our favourite French snake, Dimitri Payet, who went to Marseille. We all know what happened there. He's played, including Europa League appearances this season, he's played 30 games, he's scored 5 goals and has a whopping 13 assists. Still very much the assist king. He also has some very silly hair. But hey, his average rating is 7.34. I think Marseille, last time I looked, which was about 10 minutes ago, were 4th in La Liga, or whatever it's called, that's Ligue 1, or whatever it's called there. Sorry, it's all foreign to me. And yeah, he's done very well since he left us, and he's clearly much happier there. To you, Dimitri. Next down, we've got to look at everyone's favourite Italian, Simone Zaza, seen here reminding us exactly how many goals he scored in the 14 games he's played for us. This season, he's played 27 games. That's all of them, apart from what two he missed for suspension, for Valencia, who again are having a cracking season in La Liga. I think they're 4th or 5th in La Liga at the moment. He has played 27 games, scored 10 goals. So that's a goal less than every 3rd game, and no assists. He has been booked 8 times and actually has had a red card as well, which is odd because I don't think he showed that much passion and commitment for us at all. In fact, I don't remember him committing a foul for us, let alone getting booked or sent off. His average rating is 6.87, which for a striker in La Liga, defensive league, is pretty damn good, especially if you're outside of the big 3 there. Next, also in La Liga, we have Jonathan Caleri here, demonstrating just how happy he was to join us for a season on loan, where of course he scored exactly 1 goal. This season at struggling Las Palmas, actually doing all right, but still hardly an A1 team in La Liga. He's played 27 games, scored 9 goals, actually again not a bad return, and created 2 assists. That's an average rating of 6.59. Well done, Jonathan. Didn't look like he knew the back end of a banjo from a goal. And Caleri, when he was with us, there you go. You do wonder whether a decent manager would have made more of him and Zaza, but do you know what I mean? I think Zaza, the whole thing was scuppered by the way the deal was structured, in that we had to buy him in 14 games. If he played more than 14 games, we had to pay 400 billion trillion million pounds and kids in slavery of every supporter and all that sort of stuff, wherever the astronomical fee was. But still, you do think we've missed a trick with both of those to a point at least. Also done reasonably well this season, has missed a few games through injury, but still having played 21 games, is Sofiane Feghouli. Now, Feghouli, I thought, didn't look that great when he played for us, apart from right at the end of the season when he suddenly spurned into life. And you do wonder whether that's because he knew he was going and wanted to get a decent contract at the end of it, or if he'd finally adapted to the English game, living in England and playing in the Premier League. Certainly he looked pretty useful towards the end of his time here. I was surprised that we saw him didn't get that much money, and we freed up some money on the wage bill, that classic again that we've just done with Fonte, to make way for Joe Hart to sit on the bench. But hey, this season he's played 21 games, he's scored 6 goals and has 4 assists to his name. So again, that's 10 match-changing moments in 21 games. That's pretty much every other game he does something useful. His average rating is 7.09, again over 7, so he's done pretty damn well there, really. Galatasaray, now I understand that's going to be a lesser league over there in Turkey, and it's not in any way as competitive or as a high level as the Premier League. So just try have a quick look, and I know he left a little while ago now. Let's have a look at a player that we sold to Crystal Palace, of course, James Tompkins, and he's the only player I've got a Premier League with to show how he's doing. And this season he's had a few injuries, etc. He's played 21 games, still reasonable amount, scored 1 goal and has an average rating of 7.22. Now that's better than any of our central defenders, just better than Bonner though. Former West Ham player, and obviously East End gangster by the looks of this picture as well. Players who haven't done so well, there's a number of them, so let's have a look. Ashley Fletcher, we got an astronomically large amount of money if you consider, really, from Middlesbrough form. I think we got between 5 to 6 million, depending on who you believe, when he went there. Since then, it's been that big success for him, he's gone out on loan to Sunderland. He's made 6 starts over for both teams, you combine it, and appeared 14 times as sub, and he has scored a sum total of 2 goals and 1 assist with an average rating of 6.31, hardly setting the world alight. Now, time for some sympathy, I think. Now, nobody really liked Cantore when he played for us. I thought he had potential, but clearly we didn't see any of it. He went back, he was on loan, got injured, went back. We had to pay his wages for the season because he was on loan for us this season. Went back to Besiktas and has never played since. And there's a very good chance he will never play again. The injury he got at West Ham, which received from an aggressive tackle in a training match while training at West Ham. How West Ham is that? Could well be a career ending. He's never played since, and there's a very good chance he won't play again. Got Cantore, everyone. Also not setting the world alight at Middlesbrough is, of course, Darren Randolph. He's played 36 games for Middlesbrough, has an average rating 6.62. Actually not that bad for a goalkeeper. I see he has potential. He's done right at Middlesbrough. He's set the world alight to the lower league. He's now established himself for the Republic of Ireland team. We'll see what happens. He never really convinced me, Randolph, and I don't think he's really that convincing a goalkeeper. We could do better, I think. In Valencia, remember him, the former Everton loanee and West Ham player. We sold him for, I think, 7.5 million to Tigres. He's played 8 games, scored 1 goal. That's it. We can't get an average rating because nobody knows enough about the league. And finally, let's have a look at Rockin Harvard Nordveit. Let him go for not much money because the wages gone to Hoffenheim, where he's played 13 times. Well, notably though, a lot of those are in cup games or in Europa League qualifying games. Average rating is 6.68. He's only made 6 starts in the league. Hardly set the world alight for Hoffenheim, for a former Borussia Mönchengladbach captain and a player everyone looked at as being a real potential star for the future. So I think that's what we're going to look at. I really am just taking the main ones rather than going into detail on every single player we've released. There are certain people, Donnell Henry, for example, he hasn't got a club yet, etc. But I mean, I just thought it'd be really worth having a look back at the players where they go. Were we right to have them go? Obviously, Payet, we didn't have that much choice. Only went on strike, he was going to go, and that's the end of it. But the rest of them, what do you think, guys? Let me know, what do you think about that? You let me know in comments below, or any other players you want to talk about from that we've let go and thought weren't good enough for us have turned out to be great elsewhere. Do let me know, leave comments below, let me know what you think. I think right now we're going to move on to your questions of the week. You've been so brilliant. You've left loads of questions for me this week. Again, you've put comments below and you've emailed me with stuff as well. Let's have a look at them and see what you've got to say and what you want me to say back. So this week's question, so once again, thanks so much. To leave a comment or tweet me at WHUMike. Great, I'm really grateful that anyone even pays that much attention to leave comments or or tweet me. Our first one this week is from Mark Neville, who said, amongst some other not particularly pleasant things, do I actually support West Ham? Well, Mark, yes, I do. Can't you just see the anguish in my soul? Yes, you can. Good. Right, so we're there now with that one. Next is from Cy Beeks. Is that how I say it? Cy quite often leaves comments, etc. Cy, S-I, and then B-E-E-X. So, hi Cy, thanks so much for often leaving comments for us. He's asked, how long does it take to trim your sideburns, and did Sullivan make a bid from the transfer window? Now, interesting this. Now, obviously, I get a lot of comments as well. Like, look, the tash and the sideburns and the glasses got their own fan club, I think, at the moment, or hate club, depending on your opinion. Obviously, this is a disguise. Let's just get that out of the way. I have talked about this before on other episodes of this show, because without them, I'll take the glass off to help. And if you can imagine the sideburns and the tash gone, I would look like a weird combination of all three of the former presenters of the TV show Top Gear. And that is a terrifying thought, isn't it? So for that reason, that's why I wear the glasses, especially the glasses. I don't actually need glasses, they're just there as a disguise. I actually found these in Hyde Park. genuinely true this. They were just lying there on this bloke's face. So, that's why I'm doing that. As for David Sullivan, he did actually email me, and though he later denied it. And the problem is, I value my sideburns at about 95p, and he offered me 3p with the option of loaning my sideburns for the rest of the season, and then he'd give me 10p if he thought they were worth keeping. So I told him to piss off. And so no, he didn't get my sideburns. How long does it take to trim them? About that long. Good. Next, thanks Si, thanks for that. And next from Jesse Romero. Now it's interesting because this leads on to something else I'm going to be doing soon. Is Jesse, I assume it's the guy Jesse, like Jesse Garron or Jesse in Breaking Bad. Jesse Romero, how long have you been a West Ham supporter? Okay, good question. Why I bring this up is, again, is that it comes, I'm going to do a film on how people become West Ham fans. There are so many people who watch this, who are abroad, and or who get in touch with me, who I've mentioned this before, who've got great stories. My favourite one I've had so far is my dad played for them. Brilliant. Like, about that, and I want to get that on film. And I just want to make a quick film about what makes West Ham supporters West Ham supporters. Because some people obviously were brought up in the East End, their dads and parents and family support West Ham, and it was just follow the tradition and take them when they were kids. I wasn't. I was born in London, but I wasn't taken as a child at all. But my first memory, if you want a time for supporting West Ham, would be 1975. We all know what happened then. Yes, Glory Chaser, FA Cup final, but it wasn't that. It's a much more complex story than that, and I will talk about that in the video. I don't want to blow my own story before it comes out then, because it's quite a good one. Yeah, so but I will be taking my camera to home games and to the march on the for the next Burnley game, and I will try and corner some of you who said you want to take part in this to do some filming for that while I'm out and about. People who are watching overseas, and there's many of them, if you want to take part in that, do let me know, because we can record a Skype conversation and do it that way. Don't worry, man, we will edit it and cut it down so we just get the nuts and bolts of the story. But I do think there are some great ones out there. In fact, I know there are, because people already sort of given me the rough idea in their messages to me. Finally, for this week's messages is from somebody who calls themselves Sexy Sadie. Thanks. I assume you're Sadie and you're sexy, so well done to Beatles song as well, I am aware. And is it, there's a good one. Is it finally to say our game at Swansea is a must win? Now, I've often gone to go, I hate all this, it's a must win, and it's like October or something, and you're like, how is it a must win? I mean, come on, we've got most seasons still to play. Is it now though? Yes, it is. We're getting there now, aren't we? Because we're down to single figures games left to play after the Swansea game, and a lot of them are against teams who are much further up the league to us. We are a horrific run in. We are 3 points off the relegation zone. Remember that? We were all so clear from it. Oh, we're feeling comfortable in 11th. No, we're 3 points away from it. And that spanking by Liverpool has meant our goal difference is now looking particularly grim again. And from thinking we were fine, I think we're really still deep in trouble. Now, on a good day, we have far too much to go down, I think, as a team. Even against Liverpool, at times we demonstrated a bit too much to be relegation. I say at times we demonstrated that. Arnautovic demonstrated it on his own. The rest of the team were a bit but if we can get Lanzini fit and firing again with him, and maybe find a place for Antonio if he's fit, then we should be fine. But beating Swansea next week would be a major step in the right direction. They're one of our direct relegation rivals. They're the team that are in the high third from bottom, 3 points away from us. That would put 6 points between us and them, and would make the whole thing a little bit more comfortable. Having said that, they'll be thinking exactly the same thing. If we beat West Ham, then we can reel them right in. Boys, I've got a feeling we'll be happy with the draw, but I think we really need to win that one. So yes, Sadie, thanks for the question. I do think it's a must win. That is our next game. We really do need to win it. I'm going to leave it at that for this week. I hope you haven't noticed, but I had a really horrific cold this weekend. I'm not even going to call it flu, because that's just so man-flu-y thing to do, but I'm barely able to speak at times. So I'm just going to leave it and make it quite a short one this week. I hope you've enjoyed what I've done. It nearly wasn't one at all. Okay, I was really feeling rough this morning, but I managed to get it together to speak to you for a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed what we've done. If you have, leave a thumbs up. If not, don't. And again, if you have any questions, do leave them, or any comments, do leave them comments below. Remember to subscribe to both West Ham channels, both Hammers Chat channels, because they're both terrific and sexy and lovely. But if you got any other questions you want to tweet me, please do at WHU Mike. Until next Monday, gang, what can I say other than come on, you irons, give it up.